Do you ever find yourself dreading mealtime? Not because of the food itself, but because of what comes after that familiar discomfort. The bloating, the gurgling, or maybe a stubborn sense of sluggishness that just won't leave. It's a reality many of us face as we get a little older, and it can feel like a mystery. You might be eating what you think are perfectly normal, even healthy foods, yet your digestion seems to be protesting more and more. What if I told you that some of the most common items on our plates, foods we've probably enjoyed for decades, are now quietly working against our digestive system? Especially after we turn 60, it's a surprising truth. But our bodies change, and what once worked perfectly might now be causing silent trouble. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 of these sneaky culprits, everyday foods that could be contributing to your digestive woes without you even realizing it. Understanding these can be the first step to feeling lighter, more energetic, and truly enjoying your meals again. Make sure you watch right to the very end, because I've got something that will truly surprise you, something you might never have considered. Let's dive right in with the very first food category that often poses a hidden threat to our aging digestive systems. And this one might not be a single item, but rather a whole group of things that have become far too common in our modern diets: highly processed foods. Think about those sugary drinks you might sip on, the packaged snacks you grab when you're feeling peckish, the ready meals you pop in the microwave after a long day, or even many of those quick, convenient breakfast cereals. These aren't just empty calories. They're often loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients that our bodies, especially as we age, simply aren't equipped to handle smoothly. Our digestive system, which has been working tirelessly for decades, begins to slow down a bit after 60. The enzymes needed to break down food might not be as abundant, and gut motility, that gentle muscle action that moves food along, can become less efficient. When we introduce highly processed foods, we're essentially throwing a wrench into this already sensitive machinery. For instance, the drastic lack of natural fiber in most processed foods is a huge problem. Fiber is like the natural broom for your intestines, sweeping waste along and keeping you regular. Without enough of it, you're much more prone to constipation, which can be incredibly uncomfortable and even lead to more serious issues. Beyond the fiber deficit, consider the overwhelming amounts of refined sugars in these foods. Our bodies struggle to process such high sugar loads, leading to rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes. But on a digestive level, this excess sugar often feeds the bad bacteria in our gut, throwing off the delicate balance of our gut microbiome. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can manifest as bloating, gas, stomach cramps, and general digestive unease. Imagine your gut as a thriving garden. Introducing too much sugar is like pouring weed killer on your beneficial plants while encouraging the weeds to grow rampant. Then there are the unhealthy fats, often trans fats or highly refined vegetable oils, which are difficult for our bodies to digest. They can sit heavily in your stomach, leading to that uncomfortable feeling of fullness, indigestion, and even heartburn. And let's not forget the artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. These synthetic compounds are foreign to our digestive system. They can irritate the gut lining, trigger inflammatory responses, and further disrupt that crucial gut microbiome. Your body has to work overtime trying to figure out what to do with these unnatural substances, diverting energy that could be used for other vital functions. You might be thinking, but I've eaten these all my life. And that's precisely the point. Your body's resilience was greater when you were younger. Now, it's asking for more gentle, natural fuel. So, what can you do? The most impactful step is to gradually replace these processed items with whole, unprocessed foods, instead of that sugary cereal. Try a bowl of steel-cut oats with some berries. Swap out packaged biscuits for a piece of fruit or a handful of nuts. Make your own meals at home more often, even simple ones. Focus on fresh fruits, a wide variety of colorful vegetables, lean proteins like chicken or fish, and truly whole grains such as quinoa or brown rice. Read food labels diligently. The shorter the ingredient list, and the more recognizable the ingredients, the better. Your digestive system will thank you by running more smoothly, leaving you feeling lighter and more energized. Now, closely related to those processed foods, and often found alongside them, is another major contributor to digestive distress, especially as we get older: deep-fried foods. Oh, how we love the crispy crunch of fried chicken, a plate of fish and chips, or those irresistible golden fries. They're a comfort food for many of us, but they come with a hefty price tag for our aging digestive system. The issue here lies primarily in the sheer amount of fat and the way it's cooked. When food is deep-fried, it absorbs a significant amount of oil, often unhealthy oils that have been reused multiple times, creating trans fats and other problematic compounds. Your body needs enzymes and bile to break down fats. As we age, the production of these digestive aids can slow down. So, when you load your system with a large quantity of heavy, greasy fat from fried foods, it becomes incredibly difficult to process. This often leads to a feeling of prolonged fullness, indigestion, heartburn, and sometimes even nausea. It's like trying to push a huge sticky boulder up a hill when your engine isn't running at full power. The fats also take a very long time to move through the digestive tract, which can contribute to sluggishness and constipation. Or, paradoxically, for some people, sudden digestive urgency if the fat irritates the lower bowel. Beyond the fat content, the high temperatures used in deep frying can alter the very structure of the food, making it even harder to digest. These cooking methods can create compounds that are inflammatory, further stressing your gut lining. So, while that crispy exterior might be appealing, the internal impact on your digestive health can be significant. Imagine your digestive system already working hard to process your meals. Then you introduce something that requires immense effort, and it just grinds to a halt. What's the alternative? You don't necessarily have to give up all your favorite flavors. Consider baking, grilling, roasting, or air frying your foods instead. You can still achieve a wonderful crispiness without submerging your food in oil. For example, instead of deep-fried chips, try baking thinly sliced potatoes with a light drizzle of olive oil and some herbs. Or opt for grilled fish instead of battered and fried. These cooking methods drastically reduce the fat load, making the meal much lighter and easier for your digestive system to handle. You'll likely notice an immediate difference in how you feel after eating. This shift isn't about deprivation. It's about smart substitutions that honor your body's current needs. Now that we've discussed how highly processed foods and deep-fried delights can quietly harm your digestion, let's turn our attention to another common food group that can cause unexpected trouble as we get older. One that many of us consume daily without a second thought: dairy products, especially if you're experiencing new digestive discomfort. For a long time, milk, cheese, and yogurt were championed as essential for bone health, and they certainly have their place. However, what many people don't realize is that our ability to digest dairy products can significantly change as we get older. This is largely due to something called lactose intolerance, which often develops or worsens with age. Lactose is the natural sugar found in milk, and our bodies produce an enzyme called lactase to break it down. As we age, our production of lactase naturally decreases. When you consume dairy and your body doesn't produce enough lactase, the lactose isn't properly broken down in the small intestine. Instead, it travels undigested into the large intestine, where gut bacteria ferment it. This fermentation process produces a lot of gas, leading to uncomfortable bloating, painful cramps, excessive flatulence, and often diarrhea. It can feel like your stomach is constantly bubbling and protesting after a glass of milk or a bowl of ice cream. It's not a food allergy, but rather an inability to process the sugar. And it's far more common than you might imagine among those over 60. Many people simply attribute these symptoms to just getting older, or a sensitive stomach without realizing the dairy connection. Think about a time you had a big bowl of creamy pasta sauce or a generous helping of ice cream, and later felt unusually gassy or bloated. It's easy to dismiss, but if these symptoms consistently follow dairy consumption, it's a strong indicator. For some, even a small amount, like milk in their tea or coffee, can trigger symptoms, while others might tolerate harder cheeses or yogurt better because they contain less lactose, or the bacteria in yogurt help break it down. So, what's the solution if you suspect dairy is causing you trouble? You don't necessarily have to eliminate it entirely, but it's worth experimenting. Try reducing your dairy intake or opting for lactose-free versions of milk, yogurt, and ice cream, which are widely available now. Many plant-based alternatives like almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk are excellent, easily digestible substitutes for beverages and cereals. Harder cheeses generally have less lactose, so you might find those easier to tolerate than soft cheeses or fluid milk. Pay attention to how your body reacts after consuming different dairy products. Listen to your gut. It will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't. Making this simple switch can bring immense relief and dramatically reduce digestive discomfort you might have unknowingly endured for years. Now that we've discussed dairy, let's talk about another common food group that can be surprisingly problematic for an aging digestive system: refined grains. We're talking about things like white bread, many pastries, white pasta, and white rice. These are staples in many of our diets, often perceived as harmless or even comforting. But the truth is, when grains are refined, they undergo a milling process that strips away the bran and germ. While this makes them softer and gives them a longer shelf life, it also removes crucial nutrients, especially fiber, and many B vitamins. As we discussed earlier with processed foods, fiber is paramount for healthy digestion, especially as we age. Without sufficient fiber, refined grains can contribute significantly to constipation, sluggish bowel movements, and a general feeling of internal stagnation. Your digestive system has to work harder to push along content that lacks bulk, and this can lead to discomfort and infrequent bowel movements. It's like trying to move sand through a hose without any water. It just gets stuck. Beyond the fiber issue, refined grains are rapidly broken down into simple sugars in your body, leading to quick spikes in blood sugar. While this might give you a temporary energy boost, it's often followed by a crash. And for your digestive system, it means a sudden influx of readily fermentable material that can contribute to gas and bloating. This rapid sugar absorption also doesn't support a healthy gut microbiome in the way whole grains do, which feed beneficial bacteria. Consider your breakfast toast. If it's made with white bread, it's essentially a quick sugar hit with very little nutritional value for your gut. Compare that to a slice of dense wholemeal bread, packed with fiber and nutrients that release energy slowly and support bowel regularity. The difference in how your body processes them is immense. Many baked goods, like croissants, muffins, and cookies, fall into this category too, offering little to no fiber and often combined with unhealthy fats and sugars, creating a double whammy for your digestive system. The good news is, making a switch here is quite simple and can yield significant digestive benefits. Gradually replace refined grains with their whole grain counterparts. Opt for 100% whole wheat bread, whole grain pasta, brown rice, quinoa, barley, and oats. These foods are rich in dietary fiber, which not only aids digestion and prevents constipation, but also helps regulate blood sugar levels and supports a healthy gut microbiome. Start small. Maybe try whole wheat pasta one night a week, or switch to brown rice for half your meals. You'll likely notice improved regularity, less bloating, and more sustained energy throughout the day. It's a change that nourishes your body from the inside out. And now, for our fifth and final common food culprit, one that often hides in plain sight in products marketed as healthy or diet-friendly artificial sweeteners and a host of other food additives. You'll find these in sugar-free drinks, diet yogurts, low-calorie snacks, and even in many packaged goods to enhance flavor or extend shelf life. While they might seem like a smart swap for sugar, especially if you're managing blood sugar or weight, these synthetic compounds can be surprisingly disruptive to your digestive health, particularly as you get older. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and sugar alcohols such as xylitol and sorbitol are designed to provide sweetness without calories or the glycemic impact of sugar. However, your body doesn't always recognize them as food in the traditional sense. When these compounds reach your large intestine undigested, which they often do, they become a feast for certain types of gut bacteria. This can lead to an imbalance in your gut microbiome, favoring bacteria that produce gas and can cause bloating, cramps, and even diarrhea, especially with sugar alcohols. Imagine your gut as a delicate ecosystem. Throwing in artificial substances is like introducing a foreign species that can throw the whole system out of whack. Beyond sweeteners, many common food additives like emulsifiers, thickeners, and certain preservatives, while approved for consumption, are increasingly being linked to negative effects on gut health. They can alter the composition of your gut bacteria, potentially leading to low-grade inflammation in the gut lining, which over time can contribute to a leaky gut and a host of digestive issues. Your digestive system is trying its best to process everything you throw at it, but these artificial components present a challenge it's not well equipped to handle efficiently, especially when its natural functions are already slowing with age. You might have picked up a diet fizzy drink thinking you're making a healthier choice than the full sugar version. But if you then experience excessive gas or bloating, it could very well be the artificial sweetener at play. Or perhaps you've been relying on low-calorie processed snacks to manage your weight, unknowingly introducing these gut irritants into your daily routine. It's a common misconception that sugar-free automatically means gut-friendly. And for many of us over 60, that's simply not the case. So, what's the best approach here? The most effective strategy is to reduce your reliance on processed foods that contain these hidden additives. Instead of reaching for a sugar-free soda, try plain water infused with fruit slices or unsweetened herbal tea. If you crave something sweet, opt for natural sources like a piece of fruit, a handful of dates, or a small amount of honey or maple syrup in moderation. When buying packaged goods, scrutinize the ingredient list. If you see a long list of unfamiliar names, especially those ending in aol for sugar alcohols or complex chemical names for emulsifiers and preservatives, it might be best to put that item back on the shelf. Prioritize whole, unprocessed foods that don't need a laundry list of additives to make them palatable. By choosing natural, real foods, you eliminate the need for these potentially disruptive compounds, allowing your gut microbiome to flourish in a healthier, more balanced way. We've covered quite a journey together today, uncovering 5 common foods that can quietly wreak havoc on your digestion after 60. We talked about those ubiquitous, highly processed foods, packed with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients that strip away fiber and disrupt your gut's delicate balance. Then we looked at the heavy load that deep-fried foods place on an aging digestive system, making them incredibly difficult to break down and often leading to uncomfortable indigestion and sluggishness. We explored how dairy products can become problematic as lactose intolerance often develops with age, leading to gas, bloating, and discomfort. Next, we discussed refined grains like white bread and pasta, which lack the essential fiber needed for regular bowel movements and can cause blood sugar spikes. And finally, we just talked about those sneaky artificial sweeteners and food additives hiding in diet products, capable of upsetting your gut microbiome and causing unexpected digestive distress. Now, I know this might feel like a lot of information, and perhaps a bit overwhelming, but please remember, this isn't about drastic, sudden changes or feeling deprived. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and making small, gradual adjustments that can lead to profound differences in how you feel every single day. Your body has worked hard for you for decades, and now is the perfect time to give it the gentle, nourishing support it deserves. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with just one small change. Perhaps swap out your white bread for whole wheat, or try a lactose-free milk option for a week and see how you feel. Pay attention to your body's signals. It's truly incredible how much better you can feel just by making mindful choices about what you put on your plate. Imagine waking up feeling lighter, less bloated, and with a digestive system that feels calm and cooperative. Imagine enjoying your meals without the worry of discomfort afterwards. This isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about reclaiming your energy, improving your overall well-being, and truly living your best life at every age. You have the power to make these choices, and every small step you take towards a more gut-friendly diet is a step towards feeling vibrant and alive. If this video has resonated with you, and you found these insights helpful, I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you noticed any of these foods affecting your digestion? What changes have you made that have helped? Please share your wisdom in the comments section below. Your insights could help someone else who's struggling. And if you've learned something new today, please give this video a like. It truly helps this information reach more people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more practical tips and encouragement on living a healthy, fulfilling life at every stage. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. You deserve to feel your best. And by making conscious choices about the food you eat, you can unlock a new level of comfort and vitality. Live your best life at every age.